Hey everybody, happy weekend, happy Saturday. I hope everybody had a great week. We've got the usual suspects with us today. We've got Tammy, we've got Ahmad, and we've got Crypto Antiquity. Thank you guys for coming today. I finally have some good news. Actually, better than good news. I have some excellent news about the project. As you guys know, there has been just a phenomenal struggle with getting power upgraded. First, power upgrades were suspended, and it looks like that's being lifted now. But even beyond that, finding existing power that we could tap into so we could kind of circumvent or shortcut all of the paperwork and the red tape to do an official upgrade, which are now opening up, which is great, but I don't want to get anybody's hopes up on that. What's really important is that we found existing power. We found an alliance with a land manager who knows many lands that have existing power already on the land. I went to a 1 megawatt site today. It was absolutely perfect. Everything we need is there. We don't need any permits. We don't need to waste any time with any kind of paperwork or red tape. We can literally get started like tomorrow if we wanted to. But first, we've got to get a contract and get money changing hands. But other than that, everything else is ready to go infrastructure wise, which is finally some positive news because we've been working tirelessly night and day trying to forge those relationships with the right people that know where existing power is. And I think we found an excellent resource. What do you think, Ahmad?
Yes, boss. We find it.
Right, we found a land manager who's in charge of several
Yes,
lands. He introduced us to the 1 megawatt, and he says he has many, many more to introduce us
yes.
to
He,
after we finish on this 1 megawatt. So I think this is great news for Monopoly. This has instilled enough confidence into me to go ahead and start, what our next move is going to be. And will that be, we'll need a community vote, but will that be, mine with our existing gear? Or should we do, like a reboot and liquidate our existing gear and try to get into something new? That is something we will have to propose as a vote to everybody in the community. For some reason, I've got this new computer that I built, and for some reason Discord is not working on it. I've uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and it just like says no, it doesn't want to work. So I'll have to figure that out, and as soon as I do, I will put up the proposal for the community to vote on. And yeah, if everything goes well, we should be mining very soon. We should be mining again very, very soon. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to kind of the options that we've got going um, in the market now. You know, I know originally when we did this project, Sakib and I were like, you only want to have Bitcoin miners. It's been brought to my attention that altcoin miners are actually thriving. They're actually doing much better than Bitcoin miners in this weird bull market, and I guess I'll kind of start with that. um, yeah, just so you guys can see me here. In my whole monologue here, I was actually here the whole time, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over and go to Bitcoin. I don't know what
Susan,
to.
I don't want to interrupt too much, but just so that before we move topics, so
Mhm.
in the most generous way, like not holding you to any particular date, do you think this is? Are we talking about a month or
30 days.
longer?
30
Huh?
days. 30
30 days.
days.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it looks like a plug and play situation in terms of the infrastructure's
That's
there.
what this land manager is introducing us to. Like everything, all we got to do is we just got to run wires to a structure. The structure takes about 2 weeks or so to build, and then we run the wires to it, and then we plug in, and we're up and going. We've got everything in the warehouse ready to go. We've got all the PDUs, we've got all the miners, we've got all the networking. Everything's ready to go. We just need that plug and play infrastructure to plug into, and this guy's he's got tons of it. Um,
Um, It'd be great if, and it doesn't have to be elaborate, but just as you go, like, I don't know, photos or video updates like you used to do with Sakib every now and
Tammy,
then. That'd be
yeah,
great.
Tammy, send. Well, I made a lot of videos today. I went and did a full power survey on the site. So yeah, as soon as I can get my Discord up and working, I guess well, no, I just got a new phone. I got the Galaxy S25 and I don't have everything set up on it either. As soon as I get all that set up, I will be happy to send you guys video and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
the,
Thank
the
you.
the power rate is not as good as the agricultural rate in Abu Dhabi. It's basically the Emirati rate, which is 2 cents instead of 1.3 cents. But I mean, it's still a great power rate. And um, I think maybe we should possibly consider changing to some altcoin miners because they're literally producing, like if instead of keeping the altcoin, you just change it to Bitcoin, they're literally producing 4-to-1 ratio. So, you know, for every 1 Bitcoin that we would mine with Bitcoin miners, we would be able to get 4 Bitcoin with these other miners equivalent by exchanging their altcoin. Um, so that's something that I think we should consider, we should think about. My only concern is, you know, like higher reward, higher risk. You know, like you're going to be taking a chance getting into some miners that might end up being worthless at the end of the bull cycle. But that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to point out, is just how bizarre this bull run has been. I mean, let's take a look on the how many days. I mean, 87 days we've been kind of just leveled in this pattern, and I don't think in any other Bitcoin bull run it's ever leveled out like this. Um, and I don't really know what to make of it. I mean, I think there is, you know, clearly there was market joy when Trump got elected, and then Trump decided to do a lot of crazy shenanigans, and now I'm just like market uncertainty. I don't know what I'm reading here, but something is going on with the market, and confidence has been shaken, which is very well. I've never seen it happen in a bull run. I mean, we can see the bull run clearly came. You know, it started what back in I'm going to say September, and then it really took off. You know, October, November. It went nuts, and then it just I don't know faded out. So you know, market sentiment plays a huge part in what cryptocurrencies do, and I'm just really surprised that what's going on with Bitcoin. I've never seen anything like this. You know, we were way ahead of the median of the 2 previous bull runs, and now we're heading towards, um, you know, the COVID bull run curve that I drew here, and I don't know, guys. I mean, it could possibly be that we're, you know, typically if you look on like the higher time frames, you know, bull runs happen, you know, within a certain period, and that's what I've indicated here with green, and then the correction happens, which I've indicated here in red, and there's just not much time left in theory for this bull run to really do much more. I mean, there's only, I don't know, maybe 10 months left for it to do something spectacular. 181 days, so that's like literally 6 months. Um, so I don't know. It could be something very different this time. It could go into an extended bull run that could last, you know, much longer than the previous cycles. But for some reason, we're really struggling to break the 100K ceiling. I mean, we've broken it several times, but we can't go like to 110, 120. It just, I don't know what's going on. But you know, it might behoove us because Bitcoin is going sideways. That's what we call this. And if it's going to go sideways to complete the bull run, then perhaps we should be in altcoin miners that are doing 4-to-1 ratio returns. That might behoove us. So that's something that we will have to put together and propose. But the good news is after months and months of hard work, and it's not just me, I really have to give credit to Ahmad. He has been instrumental in doing these meet and greets and getting the introductions to the right people to get us what we're after, which is existing power. So we don't have to mess with permits and all the power upgrade process and all that nonsense. We've got it there. It's ready to go. It's ready to plug and play. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. We need to be thinking about is this bull run. If something doesn't happen in the next, I'm going to say 3 weeks, yeah, we need to look at our options and maybe consider a different miner than a Bitcoin miner. But yeah, that's not going to be for me to decide. That I think is something that you as the community will decide. The advantage to having that miner is I can give you more hash equivalent and we can have fewer machines running, so we actually need less power. There's lots and lots of 200 kVA power available pretty much everywhere. Hey Cameron, good to see you.
Going.
And so, having a miner that literally rewards 4 to 1 what the Bitcoin miners do would enable us to use those smaller power solutions, because we'd need fewer miners to get the same amount of hash rewards. So just some things to think about, some things to chew on. Kind of want to go to Google Maps here. I don't know if I showed you guys where the warehouse is, but our warehouse is located here in Sharjah, and the power that we're looking at is actually quite close to the warehouse. So that's kind of got me excited, is that it's not really far away. And if you look at this massive palace with 3 helicopter pads, multiple helicopter pads, like, why do you need 3? You can only fly 1 at a time. But it's this sheikh that owns this palace, that owns the lands that have all this power on them. And so, yeah, I'm really excited that we're working together with him and we're starting business with him. So good news on all fronts. Hard work does pay off. And I couldn't think of a better location, relative to where our warehouse is, for the power to be. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and go back here to the home screen. Yeah, it's so good to have at least 2 of you guys, make the time to see. I'm here to answer your questions, and Tammy, I haven't had any access to the Discord, so I know you guys put the questions in a special channel in the Discord. So would somebody be so kind as to read off one of the questions so I can start laying out answers?
I'll see if I can
Okay.
get it. My internet connection is being a bit of a problem. I didn't think I'd be here today, but we got snowed in, so we didn't have a choice. I'm not.
I actually don't see any new questions. So, I mean, I didn't write any new ones to the last AMA because I
Okay.
was kind of joining. But I looked at the channel really quickly.
Yeah,
My
to be
question
honest,
is
brother,
that if let's say we stay on the Bitcoin route, what's like the best we could possibly expect given the market conditions? Your approximation of how much hash rate we get, and what might the electricity costs be roughly, and how much we're looking at in terms of payouts per month, roughly. I know that
Well,
everything is guesstimate.
let's see if I can do this on the fly here, because that's a great question, and I'll go ahead and switch the video recording over to asicminervalue.com. This is really weird. It's not loading up. It usually loads up really, really fast. But this will give us an idea of like what kind of altcoin miners are out there, what they're producing. Oh wow, that did not load good at all. Let me give it a hard refresh and see if we can get this to load properly. But yeah, kind of my go-to site for this is asicminervalue.com, and okay, great. We've been having internet troubles all day today as well. And it's been really frustrating to me because I actually built this supercomputer to do some self mining with it, and it's like, have to go back in and like reset everything and reauthorize the keys every time it drops the internet here, which is really frustrating. Okay, here we go. We've got a good load now. So let's see. I would not do gold shell. Actually, these are pretty cheap for what they're generating a day. Let's see. Let me put in our power cost. I don't know why this guy decided the power cost needs to go at the bottom of the website, but we'll just scroll down to the bottom here, and well, that's where it used to be. Okay, maybe it's at the top of the website. Okay, and there we go. And he only allows whole numbers too as the power cost. So let's go here. So let's see if we can do 2.5 or 2.5. There we go. Okay, okay. He's done some adjustments by Joe. That's good. Okay, so currently right now the S21 XP Hydro 3U is the most profitable machine on the market that you can buy. And to put that in comparison, like the Ice River Aleo or AEO, and this is an altcoin, and it only uses 100 watts, so like that's next to nothing. You can get those for about 2,200. I guess these are retail prices, by the way, guys. So we can get things at a better price than what they're doing. But it's generating $31.13 a day. So if we take, we'll just say 200 kilowatts and divide it by 100 watts, that would give us the capability of doing 2,000 miners. Now, obviously, we're not going to do 2,000 miners. So let's look at it through the price point. So we'll just say 2,200, 100, and what did we raise? We raised like $180,000. So let's just do 120, 20,000 divided by 2,200. So that would give us 54 machines, 54 times, and it's making 31.13. So that would be $1,697 a day. To put that in perspective, our best ever month mining, I think we were making like 900 or 950 a day. So it'd be roughly double the output per day that we were doing in our best of the best. And I think that was last February actually too, that we just had a stellar month that month. And then you've got to factor in electricity costs and things like that. So I'm going to say, well, okay, to put things in perspective, like Roops right now, his project, Cobra X, is making like $500 a day. So we'd literally be making about 3x. After electricity costs and whatnot, I think we'd be making about 3x what we'd be making with Bitcoin mining machines. But again, that's a high risk because, if that altcoin crypto crashes or whatever, then you're kind of stuck holding the bag. Another option would be to go with the Litecoin miners, the Scrypt miners, because they can dual mine. They can mine two different coins simultaneously. They can do Doge and Litecoin together, and they are much more expensive and they use a lot more power. So I don't know if that would be worth the risk. Yeah, Cameron's like, no. But I know for a fact there is a large market for the Litecoin miners. So we wouldn't be just stuck holding some bizarre altcoin miner. Yeah, I mean,
I think my personal opinion is that the people who invested into Monopoly we're really looking for Bitcoin.
Well,
Um,
we would
I,
exchange the altcoin into Bitcoin, so the payouts
yeah.
would still be in Bitcoin.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The risk is you get this altcoin miner, and then the altcoin tanks, and now
Yeah.
the miners it's mining nothing. It's mining pennies a day. Um,
And then it wouldn't be the miners themselves wouldn't be sellable. I mean, you could
yeah,
try to
nobody
sell
would
them,
want
but
them
but
because
yeah.
the algorithm that they mine has crashed. So I don't know.
It feels like a huge risk. I think because the market has been really shaky lately.
Uh-huh.
Sentiment
Yeah,
is more cautious, to be honest, right now.
yeah,
Bitcoin is forever.
yeah, I would stay with the Bitcoin miners, guys. I'm in agreement. Um, there's just, yeah, I've seen it so many times where people let greed be their guide. Like these gold shell miners, I mean, they'll be in the graveyard. Like there's so many gold shell miners in the graveyard already. If we scroll down here, like yeah, these gold shell, Eagle One, Blake Three, the K Heavy Hash, like all of them are in the graveyard. I think we can actually sort the miners by let's see.
What would
Yeah,
probably be helpful is like when you put up something for the community vote to have data like, okay, so if we keep with the M50s, this is what it's going to look like.
hmm
But if we invest in new miners, then this is what it's going to look like in
yeah.
term.
I mean, I think the M50s would be solid $300 a day. Because all of the K Pros for Cobra X, they are first of all, way more efficient. Second of all, they're all overclocked, so they're all overproducing. And he's doing 500 a day. And I think the M50s would do a solid 300 a day. Um, then you got to subtract electricity costs, so maybe 250.
And in your opinion, is that's profitable or profitable enough?
Well, it's 250 per day, and then we'll do times 30 days. So that would be 7,500 a month after expenses. And again, I'm just roughly ballparking it. And then uh, how many was it 180 or 166? Can somebody refresh my memory? Like how many NFTs we sold for the
I
project?
can I That's a good question. I can't remember.
Let me see if I can look it up real quick here. I'll go to Monopoly. Oh no, no, wait a minute. We've got the spreadsheet, the payout spreadsheet that says everything. Let's see, Monopoly BTC payouts. That'll tell us exactly how many NFTs we had. So it looks like 395 plus. Okay, wait a minute. Let's go to a future date here. Okay, 459 plus 8. Huh, I remember it being like a different number than that. That would be 467 total. Let's go to the last one here. Yeah, 467. So let's see, 7,500 divided by 467. Yeah, so that comes to $16 per NFT in rewards per month. $16 worth of, at today's current Bitcoin price. Obviously, if Bitcoin doubles from here, then it'd be equivalent to $32 or whatever. Um,
I mean, from a layman, retailer, non-professional point of view, that sounds pretty decent to me.
yeah,
Given
now that I'm looking at the numbers, I think that's the best call is to just use what we've got, run it. The warranty's already gone on it, so we just might as well just run it, into the ground and then capitalize off of it when Bitcoin peaks.
because I'm thinking, it'd be faster in the end because you already have the machines, that kind of thing, versus
Well, of
fundraising.
course.
roundup.
Of
Yeah,
course, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, to go all the way around to fundraising. Here's what I think we should do. Let's keep what we got, run it into the ground, and you know, let this NFT or marketing expert or whatever see if they can generate the excitement because it is in the middle of the bull run, and see if we can generate the excitement to just do like another project. So just keep the original old school Monopoly, and then just go into, something new. And if you guys want to participate in it, great. If you don't, then, we'll build new audiences and new communities and whatever, to get that going.
I think the strength of it would be is that once the miners get back online,
That's what I'm
then
saying. Like we could say
pe-
this one's
pe-
already up and
people
running.
be
Yeah.
yep. And then I think when we close out the cycle, and for whatever amount we can get for the miners when they sell,
Hmm.
that just kind of shows confidence in the project that the white paper, despite all the hiccups, was followed, and we went from beginning to end, and we walked
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
seeing the
All right.
project through. That'd be great.
Yeah, I agree. We're probably 6 to 10 months away from that sell point. Again, Bitcoin is behaving very strangely, with this sideways movement. And what's weird is, it did a very long sideways movement, and then, did an uptrend, and then now it's going to a very long sideways movement. So this bull run it's moving in a way that it never has before. Like it's always been really extreme. Like, it'll go up and then it'll crash and then it'll go up again. It's never plateaued like this. This is something
It's
new.
probably all the ETFs.
Well, could be the ETFs. It could be that so many people were burned in the last cycle that it's just getting a slow start. Um, Eventually the fear of missing out and the greed of people kicks in, and that's when we see, like, the really amazing stuff, the fireworks. And this time, people, they're just like, oh, it's at 100K. Like they're not even motivated anymore. Like in the last bull cycle, when it went from 3,000 to 6,000, they're like, yeah, I don't care. And then when it from 6,000 to 10,000, they're like, yeah, it's been there before. And then it went from 10,000 to 20,000, they're like, okay, it might make a new all-time. But when it hit 30, the market just went nuts. And they're like, I want to buy all the Bitcoin. It's like, dude, I've been trying to sell it to you since it was at 3K. And now you want to buy in at 30? He's like, no, I want to buy everything. I want to buy it all now. It's like, okay. I have not seen that frenzy yet. That frenzy, I don't know. Like, maybe it's the politics. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but that frenzy has not come yet. And that frenzy is one of the telltale signs that, we're on the last of the parabolic, and, we need to be looking for an exit strategy. Um, like I said, this could become an
Could I
extended bull run.
could I ask what would you like to see the chart do? Just that's probably my last question. Like you want to see the price of Bitcoin break through what resistance area?
What I'd really like to see is, if you notice here, and I'm sharing my screen with you, you can see, you see how this kind of median trend, so this was, the exceptional bull run, this was the COVID bull run, and then this median line here kind of denotes the average between the two. What I'd really like to see is every time Bitcoin touches this median line, it bounces off. But as we can see, it just went like right through that line, and now it's just going sideways, 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 and it's not really showing. I mean, we've had, you know, quite a few days of like dwindling market volume. Like it's weird. It's almost like people have given up or something. I don't know. Like ideally what I like to see is I like to see the volume go up, and we can see that, when the bull run began, it did. We got this nice, big jump in volume. And we can see in previous bull runs, if you you can see all this kind of static here at the bottom, we can see just all the volume that comes in as everybody comes in and decides that they must have a Bitcoin now. I'm just not seeing that. I mean, I'm seeing trajectory moving up, but I'm just not seeing the volume, which means that the people aren't there. And you really can't have a great bull run until the people get in and get that frenzy, and they all start talking about like, how many Bitcoin do you have? And I just bought, this much today, and I have that much. And that's just not there yet. One thing that is also though very interesting is if we look on like much higher time frames, like 1 month. One thing that I like to see in a bull run is the RSI to be very low, relative strength index. And you can see that, when we had that initial jump, it actually got pretty high. And then it did a nice correction down. So at least on a higher time frame, I'm liking what I'm seeing, because it tells me that when the frenzy comes, the RSI has got room to go up, right? You don't want the frenzy to come when the RSI is, telling everybody to sell, telling everybody to liquidate. You want it to come when everybody, the RSI is saying buy. And, if we look at all the previous bull runs, they all started kind of in the middle of the RSI. And you can see this one started, went to the middle, plateaued, and then it really, really jumped up, and then it corrected. And now it went up again, but it's in some sort of sideways pattern. What we really need is a large correction down, and then a big, fantastic run up, at least from an RSI perspective. But the thing about RSI that's really interesting is, like, if we look at the good bull run, I'll say the 2017 bull run, you can do like double, triple, quadruple tops. So you can, go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, just bouncing off the top. And that's a possibility. I mean, we may work our way up here and then do a double, triple, quadruple top, and go to that 100K, or not 100K, 400K or better, which is what I'm predicting. And that's also what stock to flow predicts. But yeah, to answer your question, I'd like to see a lot more activity than what I'm seeing, in essence.
That chart's great. Thank you. Now that you explain what the parabolic lines mean, it makes perfect sense. I can see why also you think a three-week time period between now is kind of crucial to see what Bitcoin does.
Yeah, in 3 weeks we're gonna know, at least from a technical standpoint, where things are headed. Like, is it gonna be a slow grow, or is it gonna be, like I said, I want to see the frenzy, guys. We all live for this, right? I suffer through the bear markets just so I can, live to see the next frenzy. And I don't know. It's just been really weird. I think institutional mining is playing a lot of into it, but that's another thing too, is, the institutional, Wall Street has gotten, the ETFs and things like that in there. So it should be going nuts. Like, I'm not understanding why it's not in a frenzy right now. It should be in a frenzy. And I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's the new American leadership and the uncertainty that's going on with that. He's, from what I've been reading, and I don't follow with American politics too much, but he's actually defunded like some massive charities in the United States, and that's like really hit his base. Like, he's almost fighting with his base now, because the evangelical Christian charity organizations were a lot of the folks who were rallying behind him, and he's left them high and dry. And so I don't know. Yeah, it's strange times, guys. It's strange times. I mean, COVID almost had some more certainty than what's going on with this. What was really weird about COVID is when we got this correction, we got this, second top. but you can see clear as day, we got this trajectory, and I'll go ahead and kind of draw this line here, and the angle of the line denotes velocity, right? So the sharper the angle of the line, the more, velocity, the more excitement and interest and frenzy. But if we look, like this one's been not even close, it's like been completely different. Um, so yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. That's the thing is with Bitcoin is it goes in these cycles of, oh, Bitcoin's dead. I'll never buy Bitcoin. I got burned on Bitcoin. And then it gets to this place, you know, like I said, last time it was like around 30K. And then people just go like nuts. They just do a 180 and they're thinking and they're like, oh, I need Bitcoin. I gotta have Bitcoin. Um, and we just haven't gotten to that number yet. And I think that number is going to be somewhere around, 150, 160, and people are going to be like, damn, if I had some Bitcoin, I would have made this much. And that's when they start going nuts, and that's when they start buying the Bitcoin, and that's when we capitalize on everything.
You mean that's when they become exit liquidity for the people who actually know what they're doing?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the exit liquidity to come into the market so we can do our thing. That being said,
You'll let us know
guys,
when, right?
of course, that's in the white paper. That's the plan. Come this time next year, it won't even be a community decision anymore. It'll be mine. Um, but like I said, everybody's we're gonna do well, especially if we get back up in mining, and especially if this is an extended bull run, which is now what my suspicion is that it's going to be an extended bull run. Um, yeah, we could have some years, or not, I wouldn't say years, at least 18 months. I'll say that. At least 18 months of good mining ahead of us, very profitable mining. And
As as long as I'm getting Bitcoin and it's all good, I don't really care.
okay. Well, you'll definitely be getting Bitcoin. Um, that's another thing too is, well, I guess it just doesn't matter because it's all relative to price, but I'm all about like helping you guys maximize your Bitcoin. And that's why we'll keep the original monopoly as it is. Um, when I'm ready to put together a next version or a new version of the project, I'll put that together. We'll try to get, again, it's all about getting that market sentiment in, right? And when people have that excitement, that's when they want to get involved with these projects and things like that. And I'm just not seeing it yet. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen, right around the corner. Like I said, I don't know what the magic number is in the mind of the public, right? But eventually Bitcoin's going to get to that magic number, and then everybody's going to freak out and they're going to want it. I would have thought 100K. I was really happy. I don't know how you guys feel about 100K, but I was like, yeah, we finally got there. Um, I was really pleased with that. But one other thing that I wanted to talk about is, and again, this is not financial advice or anything, but we've all known for a long time that Bitcoin is not. It's a good way to store value, but it's not something that you can use as like an everyday transactionary value, right? Because it takes 10 minutes for the block to process it, and even longer if like some other weird things are going on, and the fees are outrageous and things like that. So it's just not really a convenient currency to use as an everyday payment. If it's something you're just going to keep and you're going to hold on to it and just let it go like gold, then it's great. But if it's something that you want to use in your everyday life, it doesn't fit the bill. It doesn't even come close to fitting the bill. And since the very beginning, 2016, 2015, when I got involved with this, lots of people have been discussing this problem. is that, cryptocurrency doesn't have, very fast transaction times. It's very expensive. It uses a lot of power, things like that. So many solutions have been put forth. Ethereum has tried to do things. Obviously, Litecoin did things with their Lightning Network. Um, and nothing has really taken hold for whatever reason. I think Ethereum is more of a utility than it is like a cryptocurrency. Like it's almost it's not something that I think of as storing for value or using in everyday transactions. I almost feel like it's the grease of the wheels of many projects, many coding projects and tokens and things like that are going on. Like beyond that, I don't really see what value it brings. Um, so it's been proposed for a long time, like one of these days, one of these currencies are gonna get it right, and it's gonna become the transactional standard, the standard that everybody can use to pay their bills, to buy shoes, to do things that we normally do with cash money, with cold, hard cash. And
Bitcoin is close.
well, Bitcoin's not close because like when you go and you buy a car, for example. Well, I won't even use a car. Let's just say you go to the gas station, right? And you buy a tank of gas, right? So you give them your debit card or you give them cash and the transaction's done. It's finished, right? If you try to pay with it for Bitcoin, you'd have to sit at the gas station for 10 minutes until the block clears, and then they say, okay, we've got it in our account now, you can leave now. So that's not really a convenient way to pay.
Well, what if you have Bitcoin in one of those credit card things, and you just flash the credit card in front of the reader, and that works at the gas station around the corner from me. So, and I don't
Really,
even live in a city.
because it shouldn't, and the reason why is because every time you send a transaction in Bitcoin, it takes 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. That's by design. Sometimes blocks can be shorter, sometimes blocks can be longer. I've seen them take as long as 2 or 3 hours to clear. Um, so I don't know what's going on with that, but there must be some sort of intermediary going on with that, like, cash in lieu of.
I believe so. Like maybe a short-term float until it clears, and then
Yeah, something is going on there.
then what the company covered, they'll just take from your earnings then, kind of thing.
Yeah, and like there are companies that are doing that, but the problem with doing that float is, especially with volatility of Bitcoin, in order to cover their volatility, you're not going to get the true value of the Bitcoin. They're going to, be 20% less because if Bitcoin decides to drop, they want to make sure that the fund's still clear for them. So again, it's been a long ongoing problem with crypto, like what is going to be the next cash. And like I said, Ripple has tried. Ripple went institutional, so they want to basically do huge transactions between banks, and that is their thing. Litecoin tried to do it, but it just never really took off. I don't know if it was an adoption thing. I don't know if it was the fees. I think honestly, it's because of the fees and the variability of the fees, and people kind of wrapping their heads around that. Like Ethereum, when we were doing Monopoly, like people were complaining. They were like, the gas is too high. Like I want to buy NFTs, but the gas is so expensive. Um, and so I believe that a simple solution has come out. And I've been a proponent of Algorand for a long time, and it's just continued to become a better and better solution. And everybody's like, well, why is Algorand better? And it's really simple. All you got to do is use it once, and you'll know. The user experience is better than a credit card. It's simpler, it's easier, it's cheaper to send, and it's instantaneous. Less than a second. It goes from one account to the next. And I really think, last bull run, it went crazy. Like it went from 10 cents to $2.30. And I think we're going to see something amazing happen. It's a sleeping giant. I think we're going to see something amazing. Again, this is not financial advice, but if you guys have not looked into Algorand, I would take a look into it. Because I think it's right now it's in a correction, and it's a good time to get in. And if it goes to $2.30 again, I mean, you what, like 10x your money, which is not bad at all. And like I said, it's got the merit of like a solid use case behind it. It actually replaces, cash or credit card system in a very realistic, and it's cheaper. Like if you want to send large volumes or large sums, there's no better way than Algorand. It's so cheap. I think it is the cheapest of all the cryptocurrencies to move from wallet to wallet. And that again is what gives it its appeal. It's like an everyday transactional currency. But yeah, guys, it's just it's a weird bull run. I mean, I can't say we're not in a bull run because looking at the technicals, we're still there. But the market sentiment and the excitement and the frenzy, I'm just not seeing it. I mean, yeah, like the volume's dropping off. It's just weird, bizarre to see the volume drop off like that. Yeah, when I would be expecting like way more green months, way more volume. But like I said, what would be really great is if this was an extended bull run. So instead of just having this year and a half or 2 years of everything going up, we have 3 years or 4 years. That would be really great. And that might be what we're going to experience this time. I have no idea. It's not financial advice. But like I said, good news on our front is that we have finally secured the relationships with the right people to get the power. And I'm looking forward to getting you guys back online. I'm looking forward to growing my business some more because I've had a lot of clients that have been waiting in queue to get online, not just you guys. So I'm looking forward to moving forward with that, moving forward with my business, having my business grow. And if we get an extended bull run, that'll be even better for me because then I'll have that stability of growth over a longer period of time instead of having to just cram it all in, the 6 months or the 10 months that we have the frenzy. Easy to make money in those times though, because they'll just keep throwing money at you. You're like, but it's gonna take, and they just throw more money at you. It's like, but I need, and they just throw more money at you to get it done. But yeah, any other questions, any other comments or anything? Cameron, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that originally, I wasn't even supposed to be here because
I'm just wondering if I should take a picture or something.
because we were supposed to be in Toronto, but we got snowed in, and the garage door wouldn't open.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
You know, I just
Wow.
have to take a
So,
picture of
like,
this
you're
alleyway with my
really snowed in. It's not like you just can't get out of your neighborhood. You literally can't even get out of your house.
Well, the snow is higher than my knees,
Wow.
Temporary
Wow. Do
operation.
you
and
do you like to
and
go
we
out
are
of
the
the
only
snow
ones that got it. Everyone else around us didn't get it. Just us.
Just you guys? Yeah. This winter has been exceptionally cool. Even here in the UAE, this has been the coolest winter that I've experienced. Crypto Antiquity, what part of the world do you come from? Where you hail from?
Oh, yeah, I'm in the West, in the States.
Oh, okay. No cold winter for you?
No, it's cold, believe me.
Okay. Yeah. Um, it's great for mining. The weather that's been going on here. I don't know if you guys are involved with the Cobra X project, but I mean, his miners are just running rock steady. I think it was about 7,800 terahash that he was supposed to natively produce, and consistently every month it's 8,900, 9,000 terahash average per day, which is phenomenal. That's
Ethan, I have to go, but I just want to say Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Ahmad, for all that you do. The markets are down, but this is great news for Monopoly, so I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Really, I appreciate
You're very
it.
welcome.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that wraps things up. I mean, you guys have been waiting, what, 6 months? A little over? Let's see. October, November, December, January, February. 5 months. So almost 6 months.
It's enough. It's enough time.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. But yeah, if we can get you guys back up and running within 6 months, I think that's a good thing. And
A really good thing, especially if the results are even better than before.
well, like I said, it's all going to be dependent on the price of Bitcoin and what it goes up to. But I think consistently you guys can, mine at least $250 a day, which, will come to, roughly about $15 a month worth of Bitcoin, which is not bad. And then, you put the multiplier of wherever Bitcoin goes, that would be your final take or takeaway on it. But yeah, very excited to share this news with you guys and happy that things are moving forward, not just for Monopoly, but for me on many other fronts as well. It's been a very stressful and difficult 6 months. I don't know if you're talking to me, Cameron, or are you talking to somebody else?
Sorry, two different conversations.
No worries, no worries. All right, with that being said, it is Saturday night. It is my time to relax and enjoy the weekend. So I hope you guys had a great week and a good weekend so far, and hopefully you'll have a great week ahead hearing all this news. And let's get some excitement going in the community now. This is good news, so we need to get everybody talking about it. All right.
You have a good day too.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a great one.
Bye.